Okay, so I just finished doing the F2L, as you can see. There's two layers are solved. And now what we're going to do is we're going to continue to solve it like a 3x3. So we started with the reduction method. We're switched to the cage method for a little bit. Now we're switching back to the reduction method. And what you want to do is on a 4x4, they don't have centers, but you can still kind of orient the centers. So look and see on these little 4 points here, and try to get as many oriented as possible. So as you can see here, I have 1, 2, and 3, and I'm going to envision this kind of as the bar, the little bar move that you have on the 3x3 when you're orienting it. So now I'm going to do the little move that solves the bar, and this is from the basic 3x3 method. And what it did is it solved a piece here. Now it could have solved a piece here, but unfortunately I wasn't lucky enough to have it do that. But if you do this correctly, you should be able to have a decent amount of pieces on the top layer. So I have 2, 4. That's not bad. I have at least 1 from this edge, at least 1 from this edge, 2 from here, and 0 from here. But it's a lot better than doing all the rest of them manually when you can kind of do a mini shortcut. The next thing you want to do is orient the corners. Now you can do this any way that you want. I'm going to use kind of a 2-look last layer method. If you want to use the layer by layer method to solve these corners, feel free to. Just remember to orient them and permute them by using the little like connotator thing, like this algorithm, like right away from you, up U prime, left away from you, you know, that one. But I'm gonna go ahead and use a 2-look last layer. Okay, so I have them all oriented now. Now I need to permute them, and basically that means to put them in the right spot. These two blues are paired up, and these two are not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch these two. Now you can do this any way that you want. If you're doing a layer by layer method, that'll work. But I'm doing a 2-look last layer, or 4-look last layer kind of. But basically I solved my corners here. So what you should have at this point is you should have F2L solved, and you should have your corners and as many edge pieces oriented as possible. The corners, however, have to be oriented and they have to be permuted. Okay, it's time to go to the next step. The next step in the method is to solve the top layer completely. Now the interesting thing about this top layer is that it orients and permutes the pieces at the same time. Now you're not going to have to learn a bunch of algorithms or cases for this. Instead, you're going to be moving each piece individually. Now that can take a long time, and that's basically the reason why this method isn't very fast, but it is very efficient. It works very well, and you don't get a lot of parity cases. This is basically how you avoid getting parity, is instead of grouping pieces together and placing them, which can sometimes lead to them getting placed in the wrong spot, which is basically what parity is you're going to move each piece individually, assuring that it gets to the right spot. So it's kind of like insurance. You have a 100% chance of knowing that that piece is in the right spot. So basically what you're going to do is, you can kind of see this piece right here. This is a red and yellow, and it needs to go in between the red and yellow corners right here. So it needs to go somewhere right here. So I'm going to do an algorithm, and it's going to put it right there. So again, this was the edge I was talking about, and you can see it's in between the red and yellow corners, and it's correctly solved. It's oriented and permuted. Now, how did I do that? This is where the algorithms come in handy. There's only 2 algorithms you need to learn, a left version and a right version. And it's not one of those cases where you can only learn the right version and then kind of get around the left version. You're going to have to know both of them, or it's not going to work. So basically, here's what you do. You align an edge in this 3rd layer here. So that's why the 3rd layer doesn't need to be solved, because what you want is you want to have these base colors, which is yellow. You want to have these yellow edges in your 3rd layer. That'll make it a lot easier for you to solve. If it's not in the 3rd layer, you're going to have to take it out by replacing it with a regular piece. Like this one, for example. This one's not yellow, so what I would do is I would swap it with one that does have yellow. But I have other ones right now, so I'll work with them first. What you want to do is you want to find that piece that has the top color in it, and you want to take its corresponding color and match it with its corners. So let me explain. So I have yellow here, which is the top color, and I have green. So I'm going to take these green corners, as I've already done, and align them with this green edge. The next thing I want to do is the algorithm to move this piece over here. And it basically moves it just like that. And it rotates it kind of up and into a solid position. So here's the algorithm. I'll write this algorithm in the sidebar also, but I'll do it intuitively for those of you that don't like learning algorithms. You take the opposite side and you move it up and backwards, and then pull it back down. So again, that was you take the opposite side. So if it's on the left over here, you take the right one and you go up and you take the corner backwards and pull it back down. Now what you can do is move this edge over just like that, and then do R prime, and that put it in the right spot. Now you can go ahead and realign your centers at this point if you want to, but you really don't need to until the last couple of steps. You can go ahead and leave them unoriented if you want. So let's go ahead and do that again. Let's do a right version so we have the same case. So it needs to go here, it needs to go to the right. So you take the opposite one, again, make sure it's lined up, so I have the blue corners lined up with the blue, and we're using this because it has the top color in it. Not any of the other ones like this one, because it doesn't have the top color. That's orange. We want the yellow one. So we align it, and we take the opposite face, pull it up, and move the corner away. Then pull it back down. Slide that edge on over, basically pairing it up, and then RU prime. And realign the centers. So let's do a left version now. It's the same thing. You're going to take the top color and take its secondary color and pair it up with its corners here. You're going to take the opposite face, go up with it, and take the corner, move it away, and then come back down. Then you can slide it on over. And then in this case, instead of RU prime, it's L prime RUL, just like that. And that put it in the correct spot. So now you'll see that the blues are completely done. We have the corners and the edges done. So let's go ahead and do the orange one now, since I have it right here. Again, this is needs to go to the right over here. And again, you can tell just by rotating it up like that. So align the secondary colors. Take this one, move it up and away from you, and then back down. Move it over. RU prime, just like that. So let's look for one that has the base color. I'm sorry, the top color. See, I can't use these because they don't have yellow on them, but I can use this one. So this is the left version. So we're gonna go away like that. Pull it down. Slide it on over. L prime U prime L, just like that. Now let's see how many we have left here. We only have 2 left. See, look at that. This orange needs to come over here, and this red needs to go over here. So let's do the red first, since it's already in this third layer. We're going to move it across, but first we got to do the opposite one. Pull it up and away, and then back down. Move it over. Sorry, got to lock up. And then L prime, U prime L. So last one, where is it? Right here. It's already aligned. So again, make sure that it has the top color in it. The secondary color is aligned with the corners. And then you do the opposite one up and away. Pull it back down. Slide the edge that you want over. L prime, U, L. Just like that. Now at this point, you should have your entire top layer completed and your entire bottom layer completed and all of your centers completed.